All right. The People Problem, Part 3. Social Interaction number 11. So this one was actually I felt pretty okay, honestly. I felt like I didn't have to, but I did anyways, which is better than feeling like I don't want to at all, and I'd rather die than do it, and then I have to just stay forever to do it. But anyways, so I was walking around the city, relaxing, chilling, getting some exercise, and then I decided that I would talk to someone, or I decided that I would look around for someone to talk to. And there's a place in the middle of the city that you can sit down and hang out and whatnot. So I saw some guy sitting down and hanging out, and so I made eye contact with him. He made eye contact with me, and I said hello. He said hello back. I said, "How goes it?" which has become my go-to catchphrase to try to jumpstart a conversation, just like jumpstarting a car. How goes it? How goes it? How goes it? How goes it? That's what it's become. Um, but so I said that, and he said, "Pretty good, pretty good. It could be a little warmer." And I said, "Well, I said to him, well, I actually kind of like it. It's not too cold yet." And he was like, "Yeah, you're right. It's not too cold yet. But once Halloween's over, it's going to get really cold." And we sort of just had a conversation about the weather. You know, the conversation that everybody loves to have, a conversation about the weather. But I was able to have a conversation about the weather with a stranger, so that was pretty good. After having that short conversation about the temperature, I started feeling uncomfortable, and so I don't remember exactly what I did. I think I either said, "Well, I guess I'll see you later," or I just sort of walked away, uh, implying in the last thing I said with the tone that I said it that I was going to walk away, but not that I was like trying to offend anyone. I don't know. But anyways, that was conversation or social interaction number 11. Uh, and social interaction number 12. This one actually is another one where I kind of felt hopeless and blah 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 blah. You know, that whole shtick that I keep going through. As it turns out, you can't have like a beautiful movie ending, or like it can't be like a movie. Like once you get over it once, then you're over it forever. It comes back and forth, and it's a push and pull, and you got to just deal with it. But whatever. So this one, like I walked around for a long time. Like at first I felt pretty confident and good, but you know, as I didn't talk to anybody or interact with anybody, I started feeling worse and worse and worse. And I felt very bad. And a thing that kind of enhanced the feeling worse for this particular day was that right now it's the time of year where daylight savings time ends or changes in such a way that it gets darker quicker. And the darkness was like, so by the time I was walking around the city, it was already basically sunset. And so I already felt like I had lost, because I don't know why some kind of emotional thing in my brain was saying like that it's impossible, that it's not going to be possible once it gets dark, that you've lost the game once it gets dark. And I did feel kind of that way. And once it got dark, and I was actually planning on walking home, and it didn't even feel necessarily like that guilty or anything. I just kind of felt tired and wanted to walk home. But then I kind of decided not to, and walked in a different direction from home, even though my feet were killing me and I wanted to go home. I kept walking in a different direction. I think I ended up saying hello to a person, and then also asking how goes it, but he didn't really say much to that. But what I did here, what I've kind of found out, or what I never really wanted to admit, but I think that I should do this as a technique, as a strategy, is like I kind of built myself up to talking to people more. I jump started myself by like, if you say hello to one person, it makes you a little bit more confident to be able to say hello to another person and maybe add something to it. And then like you kind of build up, you take a baby step into the water, and then you get more and more into the water until you're all the way in, right? And I don't like the idea of doing this. Something about it irks me, but it does work. That's what I ended up doing, kind of. Also, I went into a bar, which is not something that I normally do because I don't drink. I got like a Coke. I went into a bar, but this is not where the conversation happened. This is not where the social interaction happened. I got like a Coke. I sat down in a lonely spot in the bar where no one else was, and drank the Coke while thinking about my lack of ability to have conversations with people. And then I got up and walked away. I tried to pay for my drink, but they said it was free, which was weird. But whatever. So after that, it was already dark for a long time, so I guess I was used to the darkness. I like the darkness, actually. I like it at night. The city at night is actually kind of cool. And I don't know why I'm like giving you this impression that it really was the way that I felt. I did feel that like once the darkness hit me, that would be the point where I had lost. I don't know why I felt that way, even though I actually do like the city at night and think that it looks cool and feel more comfortable at night. I don't know. For some reason, that metaphor just affected me that way emotionally. But anyways, it was dark. So I kept walking, and eventually I got to... there's a place in this city where there is a giant screen of sorts. And usually this giant screen of sorts just projects... usually it projects nothing. Usually there's nothing on this screen. And sometimes, like at a certain time, it will project one thing. Like one kind of like boring thing over and over again. Every hour or so. But when I saw the screen this time, it was projecting like art films. Like some kind of like a bunch of like really short experimental art films. And it was really cool. And I just kind of sat down and watched them for a while, even though it was kind of uncomfortable to sit down because I was like, there's not much to, like, it's not a screen where you can sit and watch. It's just a screen where you're walking by and something's happening. But I sat down for like a half an hour to 45 minutes and watched some of these art films, and they were really cool. And I was really like, because this screen, I had never seen like an art film on it before. I had never seen anything but the boring things that they always put on it. So it was really interesting. So I sat down, and I noticed that like behind me there were two other people sitting. I assumed that maybe they were like a boyfriend and girlfriend sitting and watching these films, on a date or something. And I didn't talk to them at first. But then like I really wanted to know why there were art films happening on this on the screen, because I really like art films. And I really like the idea of watching art films on a screen in the city at night while people are walking around you. Like, it's a really cool aesthetic. And I really wanted to know why there were art films. So I turned around after watching some of these art films and made a conversation with the girl who had walked away from the guy. I was going to make a conversation with the guy, but the girl was closer, so I made a conversation with her instead. So I asked her like, why is this screen projecting, or what? There's like, what is this, or whatever? And she said, oh, This is some, and I don't remember exactly what she said, but I wrote it down on my phone or whatever. Uh, this is like an event that's where there's experimental films. Aren't they cool? And I was like, yeah, they are cool. I think the really cool ones are the ones that are kind of like flashy and like show like space and like are they're kind of like music videos. And I really like the abstract ones because this particular screen doesn't really show details that well. There was some, so I talked with her about what I liked about it, and she told me that like this is an event that happens like and there are certain days when it happens, and it's kind of a new thing, and we're trying it, and I was really excited, so I kept talking to her, and learned about the event and wrote it down on my phone because I wanted to see more of that. So yeah, I guess I had a full-on conversation with someone, a stranger, not for the first time in my life, but like, I guess like if art is involved, then it's a lot easier for me to talk to someone. So I'm starting to think that maybe I should try to go to more art-like events because art, aka the pursuit of beauty, is something that I really care about and really like a lot. And so I was able to have a decent length conversation that didn't feel like I cut it off too early with this girl about the art that was being projected in front of us. And that was great. And that is social interaction number 12, I believe. And that is my story to this point. I hope you enjoyed listening to this. I hope that it helps you if you need help with this kind of stuff. I don't know. But yeah, that's where I'm at. Have nothing else to say, but I'm continuing to speak, and I don't know why. Oh, also, I have some news that's not even relevant to anybody but me. But my computer that I bought in 2016 is really starting to get crashy. Like, it's getting to the point where I am transferring stuff from that computer, which I prefer to use that computer because it has all of my stuff on it. I have another computer that I bought in 2020, which is like my gaming computer. I'm starting to transfer some files over because I feel like my actual computer is starting to go faulty, and that really depresses me. But anyways, that has nothing to do with the people problem, so I will stop talking about it now. That's my update. I hope you enjoyed listening to this, and I hope, I hope I'm able to continue doing this. I really thought that I was going to quit this time, honestly. And I feel like the decision to do this, I feel like there's going to be a point where the chain breaks, right? The chain hasn't been broken, but I feel like there's going to be a point where it breaks. And it makes me feel very weary. But maybe it won't. Who knows? It's like some kind of miracle that like there happen to be art films projected on a screen that projects nothing but boring films. And boring films, by films, I don't mean like an actual movies. If they projected actual movies, that would be cool. It was boring, like a boring presentation that they do the same thing every time. But whatever. Anyways, yeah, that's it. This is it. This is the end of this recording that I'm probably not going to edit because I'm lazy and my computer is faulty. I will see you guys next time. Goodbye.